Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on the HermitCraft Feed the Beast server. So these zombie pigmen have been going for a while now. I set this up, what was it, 5 or 6 episodes ago, something like that. We had this first extra dimensional barrel full, DMAC at the second one, and we had a full 1024 stacks plus about another half extra dimensional barrel. So I took those over, I compressed all the gold down into gold blocks, and yeah, I probably should set up something over here. Maybe put out, a solar panel or something hooked up to a compressor and automatically compress all these gold bars into gold blocks. That would be pretty good. So between last episode and now, I actually went ahead and I made the gravity chest plate. I know I said I was going to do that next episode, but yeah, I looked at the recipe and there was just too much work. So I thought it was going to be pretty boring, so I just went ahead and I did that off camera. So let's look here. Gravity chest plate. This guy. Yes, I have made it. So all sorts of iridium goes into this guy. All sorts of copper and lots of copper plates. Each one of these is like 8 copper each. Yeah, so much stuff. Very, very involved. I think it took me near an hour to make. But now that I have this, I can fly up and pretty much hover in creative mode style fashion, where I can just, go to a certain level. There's no noise. I just float up and I am at this level. So that is really awesome. It is using a bit of my energy. I think during the daytime I can hover indefinitely. The ultimate solar helmet provides enough juice where I can continue to, hover all the time as long as it's daytime. So I think if I go into a Mistcraft world that is daytime all the time, I can always hover, which would be kind of cool. Okay, so difference between the gravity chest plate and the jetpack is there is no hover mode, meaning like I can't turn it off and then kind of just float down. It's either on or off, so I'm either floating or I'm not. When it's on, it's always using power from its power reserve right here. You can see it's using power. It's kind of going up and down. The ultimate solar helmet is recharging it, but it is drawing some power. But I think this is making more power than this is using. So yeah, as long as it's daytime, I can fly indefinitely, which is really awesome. Although I do kind of miss the fact that there is a hover mode where you could, lower yourself down at a slower speed. And you always got to remember to turn that gravitation engine off, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, I guess I will switch between the two depending on the situation. I really don't see myself using this thing a whole lot right now. Maybe if I start building something, but I really kind of feel like I like the jetpack better. Okay, so yeah, this is my setup here from when I was making all those coolant things. I think it was 96, not ambrosias. Let's see. Yeah, these cooling cores require the 60K, which require these 2 of these 30K, which require 3 of these each. And I think there was 96 of these that I had to make. So yeah, I did that with the wax capsules full of water, and I was getting my water from here. Man, this thing was a pain to make. Okay, so I got some stuff that I want to do today. Let's stop talking about the gravity chest plate. What I want to do is I want to make a whole bunch of barrels. So let's get started on this. I need to head over to spawn. Nope, that's my B place. This is spawn. I need to head over to spawn. And not just barrels, but I also want to make the extra dimensional upgrade. So I'm going to need a stack of leather. And I'm going to need 2 stacks of blaze rods. Awesome. And I think I need 4 stacks of 16 ender pearls. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Okay, so I think that's all we need, right? Man, you run so fast with with this quantum suit armor. It's awesome, but it looks so weird. Like what you're holding in your hand just jumps up and down, up and down, up and down really fast when you're sprinting. Okay, so do I get enough here to do this? Let's do... Oh, wait, no. I still need another ingredient. So let's go back to the hub. We'll go to my B area. Yep, that one takes me to a different spot. Let's go over to my B area here. Okay, and we will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do I have 7 stacks? Yep, 7 of those, and we need a stack of slabs because the barrel upgrades require a barrel each to make. So let's just go ahead and make up a full stack of barrels. Oops. Do this, and... Oop, not there, not there. Click the right thing. There we go, a stack of barrels, awesome. Okay, so... upgrade, barrel upgrade. We are going to make a stack of these. Well, I guess we can only make 16 at a time because it was stacked to 16. Or maybe it's because the ender pearls... I'm not sure. Come on. Once more. There we go. There is a stack of extra dimensional barrel upgrades. Very awesome. Now, on top of that, I also need to make a stack of barrels. 4, 5, 6, 7. And I don't think I had enough of these slabs. Nope. So, let me grab... I'm actually not sure how many of these I need to make a stack. Is it just this? Oh, I guess that made 3 stacks. Okay, well that's fine. Yeah, let's go ahead and make another stack of these because I'm going to need the barrels to put those upgrades on. Yeah, and I'll use these slabs for the alvearies. I'm still making those. Okay, so there's a stack of barrels and 64 barrel upgrades. Very good. Let's put this stuff away and we can put this away. Yeah, I'm continuing to make more of this stuff, and I am piping the honey using this liquid tesseract here. And as you might have saw when I first came into this area, I have dug out the floor. We now have this glass viewer block, so a glass floor, very similar to what we did over at the oil area, the bees. I moved the liquid DNA down there. This is containing honey. This is where all of my honey is going. You see my little barrel right here of honey, and you can see the little particles, the purple particles. I have routers behind here pulling these out and putting it into the squeezers. And then that is going into this big tank full of honey, the liquid honey. And that is being piped over here. And we are making the scented panelings. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, I spent a little bit of time here figuring out how I want to lay this stuff out. And I decided I was going to put 1 block of space. Well, I guess, 1 block here, a block of space, then the tank, 2 between, another tank, 2 between, another tank, and then we'll repeat the pattern over here. Unfortunately, this room was 1 block too narrow. I need to extend this wall out 1 more block. I need to move these lights over 1 more block. And yeah, this should be all set because, yeah, there's a little lip underneath there now. Okay. My villagers, they ended up down there. They were kind of stuck in a block right here, I think is where I had them. And I was digging this all out and I had them up here, and then I accidentally removed the block they were standing on, and both of them fell down. I was afraid that they were going to die to fall damage. Luckily, they did not. So I went over and I made some healing potions, splash potions of health too, and I threw them in their faces. So hopefully their health is pretty good now. People are asking me from the last episode with this safari net if I was able to pick up villagers or if I was able to pick up other players. No, you cannot use these on villagers or players. I tried. Doesn't work, unfortunately. That would be pretty funny. I don't know how that would work though. Like if you pick up a player, what would happen to them? I just don't see how that would work. But yeah, this is what we're doing for now. Obviously this is not finished, very rough. I just dug it out, put the tanks back there, moved all the liquid DNA, and I'm still squeezing honey to put into here. Once this fills up with honey, really not sure what we're going to do with all of it. I know you can power, I think, biogas engines using this, but it only makes 1 MG a tick. It's not a very good fuel source. I'm sure I'll figure out something to do with it. But yeah, we're running into the problem right now where we got so much wax, so much honey drops. And then on top of that, when you squeeze the honey drops, oops, put on my gravitation thing. When you squeeze the honey drops, you get propolis. So I am also getting a whole heck of a lot of propolis here. I guess we can take this out of this chest. Yeah, this should probably really be void piped or something. But yeah, these are the squeezers that are squeezing the honey. All the propolis is being pulled out by these pipes and put into this chest just for now. This is not really a permanent setup, but I don't know. I wanted to put this hooked up, and I need the liquid honey over for that carpenter there. So, Yep, I kind of just put that together, and that's what we are doing. Awesome. Okay, so let's see. What else? Yes, over here, you can see we're getting a lot of wax, a lot of honey drops. So what I have going on here is this barrel right here is facing the wrong way, but it's got rocky combs in it. I put more frames in the Ruby Bee housing, and this was a pretty full barrel overnight. So I gravity gunned it over here and stuck it right next to this router. This router it's extracting from barrels from the bottom sides. It has a bunch of upgrades on this. So yeah, we're only looking at barrels we're extracting, and it's visiting the nearest ones. It has a bandwidth upgrade, which moves stacks at a time. So that means when I put that barrel right next to it, it's like, okay, full stack in here, and let's move that on. Okay, I have it ejecting to the west. Now I found out that these colors, I guess the directions are the same as their colors. So this is blue, and if I were to change this router, the different eject to, I think north is blue. So even though it says north, but this direction is south, I think you just go by the color on the side. Alright, so let's see. It has the machine upgrade, the bandwidth upgrade, and I guess that is it. So I have this router ejecting over into this router, and this router is inserting into the top side of centrifuges, all of them. It has speed boost, which makes it no delay when it's visiting any of the machines. I'm really not sure how much difference this makes, especially when we're doing stacks at a time. This also has the bandwidth upgrade, and yep, so this router puts a stack into this one. This one's like, okay, here's a centrifuge, let's put a stack of combs into this, and then just stacks all the way around over here. Now this guy over here, we've seen this before, it's extracting, but I have it again speed boost, so it's doing this faster, I think. It can move stacks at a time. This might not be necessary, but I have it ejecting to the top into this relay, and the relay is just putting the stuff into these barrels. Now I guess I could have this eject into another router, and the router could insert into everything in the network, I guess these barrels, but I just figure it's probably easier just to have the relay just eject into the relay, and the relay can sort. So yep, that is what we are doing here. Awesome. Okay, so for today, what I want to do is hook up a bunch of barrels here. I want to get a whole wall of barrels, put all these barrel upgrades on it, and this is going to be my storage from all of the bees. I'm going to have routers that are going to put the stuff into those barrels, and maybe before they get to that point, we will process them and things like that. Not quite sure how this is all going to work, but I guess the first thing to do is just to get started on it. Okay. Also, before we start working on that, let's... Oop, it is nighttime, so I can sleep. I was going to go turn off the rain, but luckily, I think we can just sleep. Okay, yeah. Before we get started on that, let's turn the gravitation engine on. I gotta get used to this thing. You gotta double tap the space bar, and then... I don't know. I know this gravity chest plate is a lot better. And I just slept and it's still raining. I don't like how this takes so long for it to update. So, one thing that I wanted to do today, actually, before we get started down there, we need some bees. We need... Oh... What bees do we need? We needed a meadow and a forest, I think? Because this time of year, specifically, I think it's April 5th through the 15th, you can breed a specific type of bee that you can only get during this time of year. Now, where are... There's a meadows princess. I'm looking for a forest. Is marshy. Do I not have a forest? I should have one. Ah, there's one. Okay. So I believe it's a meadows and a forest. If you breed those together... Whoa, I forget you run super fast. If you breed those guys together, you should get a special bee. Oh, I forgot. I put my nether stars downstairs. Didn't want to actually get a chance to lose them. So in here, no, not in there. In this one. One of these. Here we go. There's another stars. Okay. Oop, oop, oop. I'm still getting used to that silly chest plate. Okay, so let's come over here. We will put the nether star right in there. We'll put the B here, and while that's doing its thing, I'm going to log out and log back in. Much better that the rain stopped. It's so silly that I have to log out and log back in, or I guess change dimensions or whatever, that the rain just doesn't update. Okay, so here's the B. It's doing its thing, and it should kick off any second now. Come on. Go, 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 go. Do something. There's one. Oh, but we only got one. That's sad. Okay, so I'm going to have to do this again, I guess. But yeah, we have this Leoprine drone. Leproine, I guess. It's supposed to be like an Easter kind of a thing, I'm guessing. Was my bee laser in here? Let's take a look at this. And let's check it out. This bee... yeah, it's all shiny and stuff. This bee has an effect of none, fertility of 2, flowers, normal, slowest, nothing special here, and humidity tolerance, and all this is normal. But if we come over here, check this out. Possibility of producing an egg, and I think that other one is, well, let's go downstairs and look at the this bee index thing. What is that? Let me find the Leo, this guy. That is a silky comb. So I think that makes the silk wisp things and an egg every 7.6 minutes. That's actually, I don't know how useful that's going to be, but you know, with these bees, you got to collect them all, right? All right, guys, give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I bred that bee just a little bit. I went and I made a couple of more of those. Took one more nether star to get a drone, and then I was able to breed the princess with the drone. Now I've got a few of these bees. We're going to put in the isolator, try and get the actual species serum just so I don't have to worry about breeding a whole bunch of these guys. Hopefully we'll do this on the first try. This takes a little bit of time, and I definitely want this because getting eggs would actually be pretty useful. What is this? Normal lifespan, not what we want, and we lost the drone, dang it. So we got at least 2 more tries. It doesn't always use a drone every single time, but sometimes it does, and that's unfortunate. And sometimes I've seen it where it seems like it uses a drone every time, and I don't know if there's like some hidden stat. Slower productivity, that's not what we want. I don't know if there's some kind of hidden stat on these things which determines if they go through an isolator, if they die faster or not. I would think there probably would not be. What are all these? Rainfall, effect cancellation. Elongated lifespan is pretty good, but I already have a full serum. There it is. Got the species. Okay, let's stop this. Okay, so we'll take the species. Very good. So now I can make an infinite amount of these things. We'll stick in the synthesizer, fill this up with a bunch of charges. We'll have to purify it, and then I stick it. I think it's this one. No, maybe it's this one. Yeah, this is where I've been keeping all of my different species of bees that I've gone through the isolator. Let's see. Put these nether stars back. Yeah, I used 2 of them. Okay. And then I guess I don't need these drones anymore. And I really don't know what you can do with these things. Can you repair them? No, you can't. I don't think there's any way to like change them back into an empty one once they've been through the synthesizer or through the isolator. Okay, well, if there is a way to do that, let me know. Otherwise, I've just been throwing them on the ground, letting them despawn. Okay, so let me just stick them in this chest for now, I guess. Right, so what we want to do is go down here, and I changed back to the jetpack. I will probably get used to the quantum suit body armor soon enough, but for now, I think the jetpack is just easier for me. Okay, so we want to set up a wall of barrels, and I don't know if we should do it one off the ground or have it directly on the ground, if that matters or not. Let's see. And I also wanted to move that wall up. So this is fine if we start over here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay, so our halfway point is going to be not quite 15. I guess is it 13? It's not 15 because 15 on one side and 15 on the other would be 30. Maybe it's 14 is our halfway point. I don't know how to math. Okay, anyway, let's just go ahead and stick these barrels in here. I think we will just do something like this for now. I don't want this so high where I can't reach it. So we will just go ahead and put a bunch of barrels right like that. If we need to do one more row on top, that's fine. So let's grab these guys and we can just barrel all the things all the way down here. Oop, barrelception. Okay, and I guess we'll stick it up here. And right. Okay, so now we got 7 left, which is not a number that's easily divisible. So maybe, let's see, if it was up there or down here. Actually, it might be better if we do put these guys down on the floor just so it's easier to access these things. I think we will have to make them 4 rows. Alright, so let me go ahead and bust out some of these barrels down here. I think I can use my axe, right? I think so. Oh yeah, that's much faster. Yeah, let's bust out some of these things. I don't know how many actually I need to do it. That might be too many. I want to kind of make this even. Oop. Guess we can just do this. Okay, and I keep putting the barrels in the barrel. Alright, and then we got one more row. Awesome. Okay, so let me fill that back in, get that barrel in place. We can fill up the wall, and then I need to put the extra dimensional upgrades all over these guys. Now, I don't really know for sure if I need this many if I need this many extra dimensional barrels, this many barrels, but I think I would rather have enough storage here where I don't have to worry about anything overflowing and being lost. Guess it automatically refills when I use my last one. That's actually pretty nice. Okay, so let's do this. Yep, auto refill, very good. That's so many extra dimensional barrels. Okay, so what I'm expecting to fill these up with is all the goodies from all the combs that I'm going to be making. So yeah, we'll have an extra dimensional barrel that's full of ruby dust. We'll have one that's full of emerald dust, etc. Okay, so yeah, that's a big wall of barrels. We'll have to make that look pretty later. So we need a way to get items into those barrels. So the way that I'm going to be doing that is through a router, like I've said before. I have made a bunch of routers and I've made some upgrades. I don't know if I have enough of everything. We definitely have the machine filter upgrade that we want. And there's a router there. Okay, you got these to make more of these machine filters. I believe that's what they're used for. Right, so now to put a router here, we can stick it right like this. Okay, and we'll put the machine filter on it, and we will say insert into, yeah, actually we wanted that into the top side. And then we will do visit near. Now, I'm not actually quite sure what the visit all versus visit near does. Maybe visit near only will touch this one and not any of these other ones. That's something that I want to find out. So we want to do barrels, we want to insert. So if I stick a comb in here, where does that go? Right there. And if I stick an egg in there, where does that go? Okay. What if I put the rest of those in there? Ah, that's not what I want. Nope. Okay, so we are going to need, I believe it's the thoroughness upgrade. Let's check this out. We got thoroughness, and I believe what this guy does is it will fill up the first available inventory and then it'll look for another one to fill up. Okay, so let's go make one of those. I think that said that we needed soul sand and the dark iron. I'm pretty sure it's the dark iron. All these things use the dark iron. Okay, so I don't have any soul sand here, so let's head back to our base. Oh, I love HermitCraft. Every time I use that, it's just so awesome. Okay, let's go over here and grab, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's how many we needed. Okay, and then we will go over here and we will Grab 4 of the dark irons in one of these chests. Oh, it was that one. Great. All right. And let's craft this up. We want thoroughness. Awesome. Okay. Oop, got turned around. Let's head back to... Gotta eat some food so I can sprint. Let's head back over to the B area and let's see if this thing works. So hopefully it does. I'm pretty sure that's what the thoroughness is for. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, let's head back down here. All these places that I've been building, like there's no stairway, there's no way in and out unless you have a jetpack. It's so bad. Yeah, let's grab that guy too. Okay, so if we... Oh, we need to right-click this thing on there. Okay, so let's put thoroughness on there. And what does this do? Thoroughness. Always finish serving machines. Yeah, I think that's what we want. So now if I put the stack of eggs in there... No, that is not what I want. Okay, so let's do visit all. And if I do that... Yep, that is still not doing what I want. So I'm not sure exactly how to do this unless I just put one of each item in, well, I guess whatever item I want in each of these barrels. So that's going to be interesting. Maybe I'll have to, you know, just put some junk items in these things just so it doesn't fill up. Yeah, I thought that this would... What else do we have here? Item filter, machine filter, speed boost, thoroughness. Bandwidth will move one stack of items at a time. Maybe we can check that out. Maybe that mixed with... I don't know. Now I'm just kind of guessing. I thought the thoroughness was going to do what I needed it to do, but I guess not. Ooh, that... Okay. So we will go back to the base. I know we got blaze rods and things over here, so we can easily make one of those. And did that require anything silly? Yeah, it required an egg. I don't know why that requires an egg. That's pretty silly. Okay, we'll do 2 of those. That's fine. And then we needed 4 more of this dark iron. Okay. Let's make one of speed boost. No, we want this guy. Let's make that upgrade. Okay. So now I think we have everything we need for what I want to do today. The next step is going to be we need to hook up all of the combs coming from the beehives. We need those coming over here. Okay, so let's put this guy on here. So if I put 3 in there, it's going to put 3 there. Now if I put these other 2 in there, whoop, gotta put them in there, not on the ground, come on. Where do these go? Into a different barrel. Yeah, that is not what I want them to do. Let me just check this out. Visit near again. And if I do this, 3, and if I do this, 2, yeah. Okay, well, not what I want to do. Give me a minute. I'm going to check a few things and we'll be right back. Aha! So I found out what the problem is. Why the eggs are going into this barrel and this barrel. So this router is set to visit near, but the problem is this router, 1 block away is this, and then 2 blocks away would be this barrel, 2 blocks away is this barrel. So it's going to split them evenly between these 2, and that's the problem. So if I take my axe, or my chainsaw, and I break these guys up, now if I stick 3 of those in there, they go to this barrel. If I put 2 more in there, they continue to fill up that barrel. So I guess we can check this out further by adding some more things. That goes there. That goes there. Those all go in there. Okay, so that's the problem. Alright, so this is not going to work, at least not having them touching. So what I'd have to do to make this work is to remove this row of barrels down here and just kind of have it, I guess, loop back and forth kind of like this, which is going to look kind of silly, I think. Another option, I guess, would just have 1 row of barrels all the way along the bottom, which also might look silly. Not only that, it would be kind of a pain trying to figure out where the items are because they're not just all clustered up in one little thing. So I am not quite sure what I should do. Should I do it this way and just have a row of blocks separating them? I guess if I do that, I might be able to run the barrels all the way down, up, and then all the way back, and there might be enough room to put all of those in there. That could look pretty good. So give me a minute. I'm going to try and figure out what I want to do here, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so this is what I'm going with for right now. We have a row of barrels here, and I have 14 extra barrels in my inventory. Not quite using the full stack. If we need more, I can add more. But for now, I think this is probably going to look the best, just having 2 blocks of space on both sides. I put the router back behind, so it's going to be hidden. And then all of the items should go along this way, and then they'll loop back around and come back this way when there's no more space. So we can test this out. You can see I have that comb, the egg, my ambrosia, and then all these barrels down here have 1 stone in them all the way down. So this is our first free spot, and then once this fills up, it should come up here to this one. Now the way this is done, if I come back behind here and show you, you can see I have these disk drives back here, and they are touching the barrel. The very last barrel is on the other side of this, and then connected here, and then it's touching the very first barrel on this side. Now I have that router, so it's only going to be inserting into barrels. We put that machine filter upgrade on it, so we don't have to worry about anything going into those disk drives. Those are just there to connect these barrels to the same network these barrels are on. Awesome. Okay, so if we come over here, I can throw some things into this router, and we can see it happen. So if I put these in there, it should go to the very end. You can see down here, we do have those right here. Now anything else should come up here and I'll back around this way. So let's check that out. So if I put my torches in there, if I put my... why is that not working? Hold on a second, hold on, let me see. Yep, those are touching. So why is that not inserting into these guys? Do I need... Do I need to put the disk drive right here? I hope not. I mean, that's touching that barrel. No storing damaged items, right. So if I stick that in there... Okay, maybe this is not going to work as I thought it should. You know what? I have another disk drive up here. Let me try sticking that between the 2 barrels instead of on the side behind. And let's see if that makes any difference at all. Okay, let's come down here. Stick that right there. No. So why is that not working? That is actually quite interesting to me. The torches are not going anywhere. So if I stick another barrel here, I expect we should see my torches appear. Yep, those just magically appear. So why does that not work? So maybe this is not going to work. Maybe I will just have to wrap the barrels along the bottom over here and all the way around, which I guess works, but I would rather have it all against one wall. Alright, so I'm going to have to play around with this for a while. Let me try putting a barrel on top. Let's see. Does it... Oh, I should probably remove this other barrel too. Yeah, I was expecting this to work completely differently. Okay, so let's put the torches in here, and where do those go? And then we'll put sticks and dirt. Okay, so if I have a barrel between them, now that works. That's interesting. Let me get rid of this. If I put a disk drive there, does that... Will this continue to work? Alright, let's put torches. No. Let's see, if I visit all, how does that... Oh, the visit all I think is what's causing the problem. Okay. So let's stick this disk drive back here. Let's put stone back. Yeah, this is... I'm still figuring these things out. I don't know everything about these. So I think the visit near went to the end of the barrels that are touching each other. Then it was separated by something else. And then it decided these weren't near it anymore. Awesome. Let's see if this works. So if I put the torches, sticks, put this in there. This should fill up right here. Yep, got 2 in there. Let's put some copper. Well, it's taking everything. Aha! So that's what the problem was. Very cool. Okay, so this will work. Awesome. Right, so now that we have that figured out, the next thing is we need to provide items into this router. So how are we going to do that? I'm thinking what I'm going to do is over by where the bees are, all those combs are going to go into like an item tesseract. And the item tesseract is going to, I guess it's going to have to go into a chest, because if we have nowhere for those items to go that are going into those tesseracts, they're going to pop out somewhere. I don't know. They'll either pop out over there where it's trying to input or something. So I think we're going to have like a chest. Then we're going to have another router which is extracting from that chest stacks at a time. And it's going to be feeding into this router here, which is going to put it all into the storage. Okay, so let's get that figured out. So I'm going to need, I guess, just a regular chest. And I'm going to need another one of those ejector upgrades. And I don't think I have another one right now. So I might have to go make one. Okay, well, let me get that figured out. Get the things together for that, and we'll be back. Okay, guys, so I think I have everything that I need to get this working. So this is the router we need to put items into from another router. So we're going to eject from the other router onto the purple side. So we're going to stick this router right next to it. So we will put it right here. We want this to eject, or actually we want it to extract. We want to put a machine filter on here. Whoa, I don't know why that just happened. We want to put a machine filter on there. We're going to put a chest. And we need the ejector upgrade. Okay, so we're going to extract from, I guess, from anywhere. Whoa, hold on. Nope, stop. That's not what we want. We want this to only look at chests. Visit the nearest chest. So it's only going to look at this guy. And we want to extract from that chest. Okay, we want to eject to, what was it? The purple side. Okay, so it's going to eject west. And let's see, extract from west sides. Yes, from anywhere. It's going to extract only from chest, visit the nearest one, and it's going to eject it to west, to over here. So if I put something in this chest now, it should now go into our sorting system. So let me put in those combs. And those combs ended up, well, there they go. 2 of them ended up right there. I think I'm going to need to actually get the bandwidth upgrade so it can extract stacks at a time. But let's just make sure this works. So if I put in sticks, those go, yeah, the sticks are going right where we want them to. Awesome. So anything that goes into this chest gets sorted into all of these barrels. No pipes required. Very cool. Okay, so the next step would be I need to get some item tesseracts. And I think you can put an item tesseract on a chest and it will insert directly into that chest. I guess I should probably figure that out and make sure that does work. So if we do an item tesseract, let's do one right there. And we will, bushes, what the heck, empty cell sticks. I don't know why, those are all public. Let's go to the private ones. Okay, so I want to, what number is that? 1, 2, 3, 9, 9, 9. Alright, sorry about that. I think I hit the wrong button. We will call this, went to go hit backspace, I hit F11 and took my game out of full screen. We will call this bees. Maybe we'll call this B items. Okay. We will put this at number 1. Let's add that. Let's click this on. This should receive only. So hopefully things that get inserted into there will only go, well, actually, yeah, I'm hoping that this will work. I think this is how these things work. I guess we should probably test to make sure, but I'm not sure if I even have the stuff available to test. Let's see. If I take out the canvas bag here, I have a wooden pipe, and I have an autarkic gate. So yeah, we can test this, and I have a barrel. Okay, so put the wooden pipe right there, barrel on top. Awesome. Need this guy right here. And we are going to do redstone signal off. Energy pulsar. We need to flip the pipe around. This guy needs to be set up. Owner only. Send only. B items. Like that. So anything that goes in this chest should go into this item tesseract over here and be sorted. So let's just take these sticks out and let's stick those in here and let's see what happens. Anything happening? Oh, look at that. It is sorting. It is going into this chest. Yes, that works beautifully. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to set up these item test racks at all of the different honeycomb areas. I'm going to need a bunch of these things. Each of the hives is going to have its own. So all the combs get put into here, and then they're going to get sorted here in our main storage area. Very, very awesome. All right, guys, so I think that's going to do it for today. Had a little bit of fail here, but I was learning how these routers work in the item sorting system. This is a very, very powerful mod, and I'm looking forward to using it to its full extent. But yep, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.